Good evening, and welcome to another segment of the New Black Leadership Coalition here live in the great studios of Intellectual Radio. My name is Gregory Sang, the host and co-member, co-founder of the New Black Leadership Coalition. And that's right, coalition is the operative word. I am so thankful, so blessed, so honored, and just privileged to once again have this golden opportunity to come to you all over these precious airwaves that I take very, very serious. Although you might hear a little humor here and there, but don't let that um, distract you, or don't let that fool you that we are very serious about the lives of our people, humanity as a whole. Today, I'm expecting our brother and friend, Minister Bamani Obadeli. He's en route. I'm sure it probably was the traffic. But before he walks into the studio, I want to give a brief commentary. I don't know if you all had an opportunity to hear the commentaries that we are doing, myself and the founder of the New Black Leadership, Minister Michael Muhammad. We are giving commentary over the broadcast of the Butt Naked Truth 1570 Radio AM on Thursdays and Fridays. Like to thank Brother Harold Davis and the crew for giving us that opportunity. And most of all, let me always start off these conversations by thanking the Almighty God, our Creator, for once again blessing us with another day on this earth with clarity. And I'm going to talk about a few of the core principles. But before I get into the core principles of the New Black Leadership, I want to just revisit some of the commentary that I gave last week, and it was regarding the 50 years after Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And I talked about the Memphis situation where the commemoration or the demonstration or the gathering of folks from all over the United States. I don't know how many, and it really doesn't matter the number, but really what matters is the nerve, the audacity. I love Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. I think he was one of the greatest, one of the most profound human beings to ever walk this planet called Earth. But I was disturbed because that man stood for principles that are extremely, divine, that are extremely powerful. And I don't know if I want to call it controversial, but we could say that, but really God centered. I mean, any prophet, any messenger, any helper, any so-called believer, anybody of real, true spiritual faith that say they following the tenements of Almighty God and Jesus or Muhammad or Moses or any prophets, they all took a bold stand and put their life on the line. And so when I look at the aftermath, and not even the controversy, but I want to thank brothers like Harold who laid down some of the facts surrounding the assassination of Dr. King and the disciples. And just because you are a disciple, a so-called disciple of Dr. King, you're really not, but I'm going to use that terminology because the Judas factor was right there. The Judas factor was right there. And they right here. they always are right in the middle, right next to us, sometime in the bed with us, holding hands with us, and singing Free at Last. Thank God Almighty, they still lying forever and at last. But the controversy that I felt around Dr. King 50 years later is the condition of Black people. So if you're a true leader, so-called activists, so-called community organizers, really, you really think you are, and you are not standing in a position or in a place where you, not so much you should be fearful for your life, but you would be speaking at a level where you don't fear any evil. You know, you'll be talking like him that you've been to the mountaintop. You know, that sounded as though he had came to the realization that he knew that at any time he could lose his life for speaking uh, at that level, that bold, that tenacious. Dr. King was that kind of leader that it pained him to see the human suffering of people. And I feel as though we have to expose all of these characters, all of these clowns and imposters, and really snakes and fakes who really, you're not aligned with that man. And were you ever aligned with him? And if you were, why do you speak like a pussycat today? Because he was speaking like a lion, not afraid of the powers that be, because he cared about the poor. Dr. King wasn't trying to be rich. Dr. King wasn't just in a room negotiating a few cheap contracts. Dr. King did not talk about go get your bag. You know, Dr. King wasn't that cheap. Dr. King was not that scandalous. Dr. King wasn't scandalous at all. Dr. King was a man of integrity. Dr. King was a man with core values. Dr. King was a man with divine principles about change. Look at where Black people are, and every report point to we have made nothing but backwards so-called progress. We have degressed. So what kind of leadership are you? And that's why I want to have that conversation with our brother, and whether he show up or not, I gotta say this. So when you claim to be an activist, you claim to be a fighter for Black people, you care, you mad at the Republican Party, you mad at the Democratic Party, you mad at white America, you mad at the Negroes, you mad at the bourgeoisie, you mad at it, whatever. But what are you doing in terms of organizing our people for some real change that's going to make a difference? What are you really doing? I don't see it, because we divided. And every time we come on these shows, the new Black leadership, we spank a couple of people because we talk about exposing those. But look, I gotta say this, and I'm guilty of it to some degree. Yes, we cannot continue to talk about this dirty glass. We got to put a clean glass beside this dirty glass. We in the new Black leadership, the members and others out here, we know about the dirty glass. We can be so preoccupied with what they ain't doing, or their mindset, their mentality, their lack of integrity. But we got to be organized. Those who claim to care about the condition of Black people, we are not sincerely putting our efforts in the right order, because we got these stupid egos. And it is really, I don't know, even know if it's egos or if it's just a lack of will, that you really don't care. Because why would you even have an ego? For what? I mean, I'm not taking anything away from your abilities, your talents, your skills. None of that. But what is this stuff about the ego to where you can't come into the room with other thought leaders, with other concerned citizens, with other concerned individuals? We talk black, but we don't do zero to make a difference. And that's for everybody. Whether you claim to be following the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, whether you say that you're a Malcolm Knight, whether you say you was with Brother Collin, whether you say you love Steve Coakley, whether you say you behind Dick Gregory, you Kwame Toure's man, or my God, Marcus Garvey is my man, or Noble Drew Ali is my man. Well, damn it, if you all are not, and we are not all together on the same page, you a lie. You a lie. That's fake. There's no progress. What intelligent is it that's why this station have the right name? Feed your brain. Intellectual radio. Feed your brain. Because what intelligent is it for us to be divided? I see shows on here. I see shows or hear shows on other stations. Everybody seems to have the answers. Everybody can articulate. Everybody can science up. Everybody got something to say. But damn it, we're not working collectively together. And that's why we're working our butt off in the new black leadership. But I think you all are afraid to show up. We got the principles. And we have integrity. We have everything that we need but the people who want to work. And you can't work unless you're going to set aside your little stupid, small, minute differences. And that's the foolishness of it. This ain't controversy. And I know some of you all, you stuck with entertainers. I mean, it's even the people that go to church. We all should be ashamed of ourselves. Whether you're a Jehovah's Witness, whether you're a Methodist, whether you Catholic, whether you God, Church in Christ, or Church in Christ God, or Save, or Christian this, or Baptist this, or Muslim that. That don't mean nothing to me no more. Zero to me. Because if we all say there's only one God, and we love God with all our hearts and minds and blah, 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 but yet we don't work together to make a difference out here, feeding the poor, giving the blind sight, people that are homeless, finding them some place to live, providing food on the table for somebody, and if we could hire them to give them a job to feed themselves and their family. Who's really working like that? That's why I wanted Obadela to be here to talk about when people are political operatives. When people say, I don't care what party you are. I don't. I don't care if you go in a room with Bruce Rauner. I don't care if you go in a room with Rahm. I don't care if you go in a room with Madigan. I don't care if you go in a room with Burke or the Black Caucus. I don't care if you go in a room with Trump. I don't care if you go in a room with Obama. Damn it, what's really going to come out that room for poor people? Are you in there for yourself? And that's what's happening right now. Because there's no way under the sun. Look, let me tell you something. And all of you all that say, I'm running for the mayor, I'm running for the governor. For what? Now, I know some of you all got some money that you can give away to people. That ain't enough, man, to save a suffering nation like ours. That's fine. I commend you for giving up some of your resources, but man, we need much more. How many of you folks get in these rooms and talk about land? How many get in the room to talk about land, a territory that we can call our own? We need that. We don't need no penny ante stuff. 2018, we just asking for a few contracts. How silly. You get the contract then, damn it, and go and live your life. Buy you a crib in Florida, drive your Benz, drive your Lexus, live downtown, live wherever you want to live, and just do that. But stop playing as though you care about black people and the suffering of our people when you won't organize and when you won't unify. You won't come in the room with members of the new black leadership. You won't even sign up to see what's going on. You don't show up for the quarterly meetings. You don't show up, period. I mean, at some point, we got to set aside our silly differences. Until then, ain't zero you can tell me. I don't give a damn what radio show, what television show you have. Oh, I almost cussed. Lord have mercy. Thank you. Because I don't want Brother Earl Winfrey to go off there. I came close to cussing. I came real close to cussing. But look, let me just read the core values of the new Black leadership. Let me read that to you so you can hear it. We believe that sound spiritual and cultural morality serves as the basis of integrity and character. We believe the core values of our African Asiatic ancestors must be the measurement and standard of values within the Black community. We further believe that all leadership must be held accountable to these values and principles. We espouse the natural and divine responsibility of Black men and women within a traditional family structure. We further believe that we must resist the weakening of these rights by the dominant society. Now, a couple of things. We are sitting with that type of foundation. See, folks, we caught up into politics like it's a movie right now. And it's a movie. Once it goes off, we go off into doing other things. We do. For a minute, we all caught up in it. Ain't nobody talking about Dr. King anymore. Have you heard any shows, Earl, in here about Dr. King after 50 years this week? Nope, you're not going to hear it. Have you all the posts about Dr. King, you don't see him anymore, right? Dr. King is just like Easter to Negroes. Dr. King is just like Christmas to Negroes. A holiday. And that's really disrespect. That's why I say you can't claim to be so, in love and believe and etc., but you ain't in pain when you see. And yes, our people are discriminated against. Yes, our people are still facing racism, but self-hatred, and that is really more pervasive than the racism against Black people. It's self-hatred. It's our own disunity. That's the real problem. It is. In everything that we do. This ain't no thing about us against the millennium. Let the millennium, man, there's some basic principles to surviving. Basic principle. Ain't no different way to grow no damn tomato right now. Ain't no damn different way to grow your food right now. So we come in here talking about, ain't no other damn perspectives. There's some basic principles to survival. We playing that game. I don't care if you 10, somebody should have mentored you. That's why you pop-ups talk this foolishness, because you have not been mentored. You cannot connect yourself to anybody. You're not associated with anyone. You just a Johnny come lately, and you running around here, running your mouth, and you're not connected with some basic principles. We are thankful. I am, and I could speak, I believe, for many of the members of the new Black leadership and others, that we're thankful, man, that we have adhered, we have heard those divine voices. They went into our hearts, they went into our ear. We picked up, ourselves. We practice the principle. Do we fall short sometimes? Heck, yes. But at least we got something that we can look back on to get back on track. Those are sound principles. I don't care what organization you come from. And that's why you can't come to me with that foolishness no more. I'm a 5%er. I'm a so-and-so. Bro, when you divide yourself from your people, you're a fool. and you say, I can't sit in the room, so-and-so I'm here something to do with. Man, be quiet. Be quiet. You can't even sit next to me with that kind of foolishness. But I just had to say that, and I'm speaking like that, man, because I'm so sick and tired. And Fanny, I mean, we all could just steal your quote, and it's a quote that would be forever quoted. Tired of being sick and tired. Tired of being sick and tired. I mean, when does it end? Minister Mike, thank you so much for picking up the mantle and doing the very best with humility to try to organize us, to try to inspire us from what you've been inspired with through some incredible human beings. Incredible human beings. And thank you, because you could be doing a whole lot of other things with your time and your life. And trust me, it's easy for someone like you and others to go ahead. Who does that help? We all could go on and just do our own thing. You think I show up here on Mondays? Do you really think I talk like this? I dog it because I don't have nothing else to do? You must be a damn fool. I really think people crazy. I don't care about man. For the last 25 years, I didn't hear all kind of television shows, radio shows. That don't mean jack to me. I'm made like I'm made, man, because I care. And I can't stand the fact that we still talking about the same thing, 2018. Black people don't have no job. Here come the Latino community getting all the contract. Burke and Madigan running everything. And wow. Well, this group here said they walking around with buttons for this guy, and they walking around with posters and T-shirts for this guy. See how silly we are? But no unity. No unity, man. Then you come in the room with us and you promoting somebody else other than unity. You silly. You can go on and do your tricking off, but don't trick off in front of us. My God. That's the kind of stuff, bro, that, as Lou Palmer said, make a Negro turn black. When you see that foolishness, let me just give you the new black leadership. For some of you all that don't know the new black leadership mission statement, we have a mission. We're not here just to entertain you all. And I mean, there's a bunch of people. I heard a show today about Bill Cosby on somebody's program. There was nothing of substance. Nothing of substance. I mean, I heard one little thing about Mr. Harvey Weinstein and is they gonna do this? What happened with Hugh Hefner and blah, blah, blah. This thing is bigger than just that kind of conversation about Bill Cosby. Where's the movement at, period? Not just Bill, the women, the condition, once again, of human people. But the new black leadership is a community-based coalition. The mission of the new black leadership is to create a viable working coalition between a new, untapped group of community leaders within the black community. I'm going to get back to untapped because some of you all run around, you haven't been tapped. You tapped your damn self. I guess you could tap yourself. I don't know. Our mission is to serve the cause of empowerment of the black community throughout Chicagoland and abroad. We will serve as advocates for our community in all areas of vital importance to the development of community and family. We will seek to transmit, communicate, and educate the community in the requirements of self-determination and self-development. We could not arrive at these important elements if we are individually trying to go after this. Ain't no movement individually. It's impossible. It is impossible. But I love the fact that the founder, along with the co-founders of the New Black Leadership, found it so important, and we did, that we would bring in all of those individuals out here who say that they represent Black people. They say they mad at the world. They say they don't like police brutality. They say they mad at this or that. But they scared to come in the room with other folks who have ideas. And at some point, we got to really stop letting people misguide us with this stuff about what's the agenda? What's the agenda? Damn it, the agenda is freedom, justice, and equality. That's the damn agenda. Freedom, justice, and equality. The word freedom is so important to understand. Free from what? See? Dependency. Dependency. Freedom is just not some word out in space. We free. How do you even show being free? Give me an example of a free thinking person. I just know one right now. Just one. All with all these human beings on the world, you ain't free just because you make a lot of money and you can go to any restaurant. You a slave, most of you are. You ain't free. It's only one free Black man on the planet. Yeah. Y'all know who that is. I'm not going to say his name yet, but I'm looking and I can see over the Facebook feed, whoever tell me who that free man or woman is, put it in the comments. Put it in the comments. There's only one free Black. And the reason I'm saying that and connecting that to this conversation is the tenacity, the courage, the divine love to always, when it comes to us and our foolishness, he turns the other cheek with other Black so-called leaders and people to continue to try to work with them, to work through our foolishness. To one day we could be a strong outfit, a strong unit, a strong force. And he, man, takes a lot from some of them folks that he has looked out. The same, see, we stand on that. That's what we standing on. And this ain't about being against no other group. See, you ain't gonna get me caught up in that. That's stupid. Yep, that's a distraction from us becoming free. That's a distraction from us getting justice. That's a distraction from us from getting equality. We get caught up with somebody labeling us this. No, 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 no. You know damn well who the real enemy of people and progress is. And it sure is not Minister Farrakhan. It sure wasn't Malcolm. It sure wasn't the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, Marcus Garvey, Harriet Tubman, Sojourner Truth. None of them did anything to harm society. They brought more value to this world than almost any human beings, Nat Turner, then Mark Vesey. I mean, the list go on and on. They didn't come here to tear up America, to be so-called, that's a trick. That's the biggest trick in the world. Oh, are you patriotic? A patriotic fool. In the meantime, while you got your flag up, you don't feed nobody. How the hell you patriotic with all the starving people in Roseland, Mississippi, Inglewood, all over America? And you claim that you patriotic for yourself and for people who look like you. But you ain't patriotic for the suffering people on the planet. Man, I'm so tired of these clowns, man. I promise you. I promise you. And we so caught up. Oh, guess what? You don't hear too much about what's the movie Black Panther? See how we had a longer Black Panther moment though. We did our Black Panther, the not facade. What's another word? Not emotion. Uh, but it's something. Minister Mike or Earl, can y'all? What is it that it lasted longer when it came to the Black Panther? It lasted like this week. First they was talking about how much money it made. We were happy. I think Obama's lasted longer. It's still lingering with Obama, but no changes. See, you see the point I'm making? We got really excited about a movie. We got excited about a black president. We even got excited when we went to the million. We got excited, but we didn't come. We didn't do anything to make to seal a deal. We didn't ask for anything. All we wanted was numbers. Oh my God, did you see the movie? Now everybody talking about this movie. No, they not even talking about Black Panther no more. Oh no, it's a new movie out right now with the sister. It's about the young lady. She played in it's a movie with Terrence Howard. They in Rajay what Acrimony. Acrimony is the new thing right now. We done left the Black Panther. And no, this is a scorned woman looking to kill. Mad. See how they do us? Take them away from thinking black. They do it all the time. Hey, bro, I'm on to something. Trump right after Barack Obama. Huh? Right after all of that, 8 years. Oh, did you cry? Did you cry? Did you cry? Did y'all cry when we got the first black president? Honestly, did you cry? You still crying? It's gone away. It's gone away. Did Trump make it go away? Is it a Trump problem? See, the Black Panther, all of that, is it gone? See, folks, I'm dealing with the emotional aspect of us as human beings. We get caught up in a movement, not even movement, I'm sorry, in a moment, and then it goes away. That's why, as a member of the new black leadership, I want to read something else that I believe, you guys can benefit from. We can, as a people. One of the things that I wanted to go back to was untapped. And then I said something about how some people tap themselves. But we do have a cadre of young men and women that we do need in these rooms who have great ideas, great energy, and I believe they sincerely love our people. And we do know how to drive. It's like going to a particular destination. Everybody jump in the car and we all decide that we can drive, and it's really about the energy. Some people say, well, I'm gonna sleep for a minute, you drive, but we're gonna get there because we're gonna work together collectively. And we arrive there safely. That's the movement. But you gotta get in the car. Some people don't want to get in the car. They was like, no, I get there, I'll meet y'all there. See, and then they come into the room with an attitude. They come into the room with a certain haughty spirit. They come into the room with a certain sense of importance. I'm important. You a fool. I don't care what kind of car you got. I don't care what kind of suit you have. I don't care what kind of townhouse or what kind of condo you have or where you live. See, that's so simple and so silly. You don't want to get in the car. You don't want to get in the real fight because you're afraid. And you cannot be a so-called thought leader. You cannot be a so-called community activist when you're afraid of your own shadow. You're scared. Let me tell you something. Remember back in 82, right after 81, joining the nation. I'm a Baptist too. I'm a Christian, but I joined a movement. You say, what's a Christian? Following Christ. How you follow Christ? He was controversial. He was bold. He cared. He loved, but he spoke the truth. What's the truth? There ain't no such thing as Easter. What's the truth? Ain't no such thing as Santa Claus. See, but you don't like that because when somebody bring, oh, what's the point? Gregory, you was doing real good. Now you're infringing. Teach his own. Sure, sure. I mean, you can still ride with us if you eat swine. We ain't discriminating against you. We could tell you that there's some better things that you can eat. See, that's the kind of love that you have to have. I mean, we don't want you to do it because we care about you. We love you. So we're not telling you that to dictate to you. We just want you to be wiser as it relates to the movement of your life, your health, and us being better and healthy as a people. We cannot help our young brothers who claim to be so-called gangs. Don't you get tired of hearing people doing studies, the University of Chicago doing studies on gangs? I'm like, get the hell out of here. Do we have any gangs? There's a gang of dogs. There's a gang of young men getting ready to play softball. There's a gang of little white guys getting ready to go. There's a gang of Latinos getting ready to play soccer. There's a gang of black people getting ready to play soccer. There's a gang of people getting ready to play hockey. There's a gang. So people being together, oh, they doing some shooting. Oh, but they recruit. They ain't doing nothing. They just misguided babies, misguided young men and women that we're afraid of and don't even speak to them. We can't deal with that because we're not a village. We're not a village. We don't want to unify. Everything that we're dealing with has everything to do with disunity and the lack of love for family and community. Man, every problem so-called that we have could be solved overnight if we would just unite. That's all. We wouldn't have no issues with poverty. We wouldn't have to worry about if somebody's check didn't come. See, we relying on a check still from the government. Oh, they do owe us a lot of money, but we got a lot of money that we don't combine. We don't pool the resources that we already have. 708-223-8953. If you like, call me if you have something to add to this conversation. I know you watching via Facebook because I ain't struggling. I got a whole lot to say. When I'm pissed like this, I can be here for a whole day. But then sometimes you wonder, is it doing any good? Is it making any difference? When you walk out of here, do anybody really care? Do we really care? Or are we just stuck like we stuck and this is just the way it's going to be? Is God going to deliver us out of this? Are we going to hear another sermon this Sunday and we going to feel good? And it seems like just that few hours that when we walk out of that church and we walk out of the mosque, we walk out of the synagogue, we walk out of the cathedral, we walk out of the kingdom hall, when we walk out of wherever, that, oh my God, what Pastor was just talking about, I see us doing it. What Reverend was just talking about, I see us doing it. What Minister was just talking about, what Imam was just talking about, we doing it. What Rabbi was just talking about, we doing it. Nope. We do it inside there. We get emotional. We entertain, but we don't pool our resources. See, you can't, and I'm going to say this, don't tell me about your pastor building a school. Please. That means zero to me. That's fine. Tell me your pastor just bought acres and acres of farmland. Tell me your pastor got some cows and some horses. Tell me your pastor's raising their own chickens. Tell me your pastor is growing beans and everything, planting everything that we. Then I can tell you your pastor connected with God. Yep, that was the first job, wasn't it? Wasn't that the first job? See, that's what we got to begin to know. Leadership have to be immersed in what makes sense. Folks, this whole piece on the new black leadership, I was talking to somebody last week and they was like, I like you all's theme, the new black leadership core. It makes, I said, well then, why don't you support it? Well, no, we don't. No, we don't. We don't have one body of individuals here in Chicago trying to unite us. Not one. Now, you try to get us in the room to make yourself look good, to say how many people you brought in so you can get your check in your bag, but you ain't bringing us in the room to go and speak with a man's voice. You Negroes get in them room, boy, and you act like you scared when you get in the room with white people. Man, I get in the room, but I don't care if you're white, black, red, psychedelic. I want to know, how will this benefit the poor? And can we see some tangible results after we leave here? Is it something that we have that we could use, that we say we love? Other than that, it's a joke. I'm telling you the core principles of the new black leadership. There's a psychological part to this. We can't get around that. And I guess some of us have been totally traumatized to the degree where we don't function. We blind. We can't see this, or we don't want to see this. And if we don't want to see it, we don't want nobody to expose our games. The new black leadership expose our game. You don't invite us on some of those other talk shows. Why? Man, ain't nobody coming on them shows to try to outdo you. You just need a balance. You need a balance. Then we do need to stop talking and start working. I agree with that. But this talking or this message or this conversation is really to sign people up, is really to get people involved, is for people to say, I want to be involved. How many people showed up in Memphis last week following up on that whole piece with Dr. King? Hello? How many people? Even the core so-called disciples, how many went back to their respective cities and they took that energy 50 years and they felt, oh, Dr. King, we going back and we challenging the injustices that are very prevalent today. Or I realized that Dr. King met with the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And after Dr. King met with the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, a light went on. The dream, he woke up and realized that black people was really integrating black people, and it was a nightmare. And he really felt as though the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is right and exact. We gotta do something for ourselves. Ain't no way out of this, period. Zero. We got a call? Okay. I'm gonna let the caller speak. All right. Hello, caller. How you doing?
Hi, how are you today?
Oh, it's the same fight. Can you tell, in a different round?
I'm listening, and you know what? I'm getting a little fired up too, because I'm like, these Negroes are not ignorant to the fact of what's going on.
No.
It's the greed, It's the envy, and it's the ego that's going on. So we got to go back to back to stage one and pull some gangster stuff on them and put them out the way, because they blocking progress with this nonsense, and I'm getting tired of it too.
Yeah, and you know, I love you for feeling the way you do. You know, in the new black leadership, one of the things that I've learned from my young brother, he's not that young, but we both young, but he young, Minister Mike, is that we cannot, you know, and I love you for saying it, we have to focus on those who want to go to work. Because there's some people, no matter what we say, no matter what we do, they do not want to participate. They do not want to go out and get their hands dirty. They do not want to be the ones that really decide that we're going to all feed the poor. They're not going to do it. So the focus got to be us. Are you still there?
Yes, I'm listening, but that's the saying. We have to put them on front street. We know the names of some of them. You can only eat one meal at a time. And if they trying to gobble up everything at one time, then they need to be choking on it.
Yeah. Well, I tell you this. I feel you, and people are frustrated that we still are. And you know what it is? And you saying a mouthful. People feel too comfortable selling out our community. People feel too comfortable in being trifling to the real, true needs of our community. But thank you, sister. We got like 5 minutes left. I'm so glad that you called. I love your spirit. I feel your energy, and thank you, because we gotta have more. And if it wasn't for you all, the woman, I don't know what we'd be doing. So I love you and thank you.
Kings and queens.
Kings and queens. That's right. Well, thank you, Sister Queen, the real queen of the now.
I love you too, Brother Greg.
Thank you. Peace. Now I tell you this, you all, the real deal is, and that's why I hope next week, I don't know when, Minister Bomani Obadeli, you know, I'm sure it's something, because Obadeli is very responsible, so something had to come up. And I know some people, you were waiting because you love controversy. You want an Obadeli to come so it could be like a little fight. You know, most of you all, some fight would mean the ones who really crazy. You can't win with me. You can't. You have, you just can't. I'm connected to the source. I'm just being honest. If I were not connected to the source, now I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't dare challenge you. But because I'm connected to the source, I could say that you cannot win. There's no way that you could win. You could play games, but you can't win, because we are standing on principles, not ours. Those that were here before us, and the New Black Leadership Coalition is immersed in that type of wisdom. Members of the New Black Leadership, let me just give you a few members real quick. We got a couple of minutes. We got Minister Michael Muhammad, the founder of Torchlight Interfaith Ministry. Dr. Lance Williams, PhD, co-founder, sociologist, and author. T.O. Hardiman, Violence Interrupters. And you know he ran for governor. William Doc Walls, political activist. Fahim Shabazz, Chirac Hip Hop Nation. Arnaz Dancy, economic activist. Minister Obadeli, activist and organizers. Chairman Fred Hampton Jr., Prisoners of Consciousness. Joseph Watkins, late, he was one of our members. Saving Our Seas, miss you, Brother Joe. Minister Raheem Aton, founder of the Temple Mercy of Association. D'Angelo Murray, activist. Johnny Muhammad, activist and organizer. Enoch Muhammad, co-founder of Hip Hop Detox. TJ Crawford, activist and organizer. Roland Davis, Bop Business Center and Project 50,000, Reven Fellows, Books Over Balls, Cyron Smith, National Block Club, Union University, late Chris Moore, Exodus Renewal Society, Gregory Sane, Kwesi Harris, late, African-American male resources, Sister Brilliant Dr. Kim Dulaney, PhD, author, professor, and businesswoman, Samuel Muhammad, businessman, North Star, United Missionary Workers of American, Brother David Peterson, the A. Philip Randolph Pullman Porter's Museum, and Dr. Kelly Harris, PhD, political scientist. We got Brother Harold Davis, Butt Naked Truth Businessman. We got some members in there, and if any that I miss, please forgive me. But our membership is strong, and we all come from different walks of life. It ain't no Muslim thing, it ain't no Christian thing, ain't no Baptist thing. It's all about principles and who sincerely care about changing the condition of Black people. You better start tuning in to the new Black leadership. And if you're listening right now via Facebook or whatever, you should share this conversation with all your friends. A lot of times people don't want to hear this because you're afraid of the truth. And the truth make you or remind you that some of you all, you're not for real. Anyway, love you nonetheless. Peace and love. Thank you, Brother Earl Winfrey, the greatest producer on the planet. And thank you, Minister Mike, for tolerating some of our food. But we're going to get it together. Peace and love. New Black leadership.